it. It's just, I don't like.
I like the color. It's like that soft pink.
Yeah.
So since we're doing clinical, you guys can open up to your clinical facial protocol. Haley doesn't have any face makeup on, but I'm going to show you guys what it looks like to do with your eye and your lip removal. So if they have mascara on, you can just take your cotton rounds and place it over both of their eyes just for like 15 seconds, just to break everything down. You just take and fold it in half, place it underneath their eyes, and then you're gonna wipe down to get any big mascara off. And then for lips, you're just holding taut on one side and you're working inward. You guys will have to do this for your practical state board. So the easiest thing is just to get in the habit of doing it. I will say there is a lady that, I think I told your classes too, but there's a lady that comes in downstairs and she'll come in with like this bright red matte lipstick and she doesn't want to take it off. She just wants you to like facial around it. I'm like, girl, just put it on afterwards. Promise it'll be okay with that. Always starting down on the décolleté. And you want to go in and make sure you guys have like a decent amount of pressure. You always want to check in with your client. How's the pressure? Good. After I do the first 2 cleanses, I'm going to show you guys skin analysis. And you guys will start learning, like after you do your facials, you'll start saying like, okay, I know like this is what I like, this is what I don't like, as far as like your facials go. So you'll start kind of cultivating like your own facial massage that you like and what works for you. How long were you at Palm Beach?
4 months.
Like 4 months? Mm-hmm. So you just transferred, right?
Yeah.
When you said they made y'all do your own product, y'all had to like physically buy it?
I mean, they start you out with a kit, but
okay.
Like once you run out, then you have to like
replace it.
Yeah.
Huh.
And the dermatological stuff is like a little pricey, so.
Yeah. You don't necessarily always have all your supplies.
Yeah.
I don't like dermatological. I mean, I really want some, but I'm not a huge fan of dermatological. Did you like the products?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly.
You'll really like PCA then. Have you worked with faciality before?
No.
No. Just like and once, for me, even though my nails are longer, I've been doing this so long that I kind of know how to like just adjust my fingers to do the massage. It's not the most comfortable thing because you kind of gotta like put your fingers back, but you'll learn. Not saying you guys still have to have short nails when you guys are in the hands-on part.
Actually, gonna move there.
Yeah, come on. Get on close. Did you get anything at the convention? Did you go to the convention?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
There's y'all that's not going.
Was it good? Did you like it?
It was cool. I mean,
I think Mackenzie said it was like a lot smaller than she thought it was gonna be.
yeah, it was. They had like a fencing conference going on, so
Like
it wasn't like actual fencing. Yeah, and it was in the bigger classroom that we normally, or not classroom, but the conference room that it's normally in. So they had us like all the way on the other side of the center. But it's the same thing. I always just go to restock on my products, to be honest.
Yeah. What'd you buy?
A lot of enzymes, a lot of masks. We had a couple lip scrubs, a little microcurrent. What else did I get?
What brands?
Skin Script, Farmhouse Fresh, Circadian. I have some serums from Circadian. It's like a caviar, lime, passion fruit enzyme mask.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, that's gonna be tingly. I put it on, and I'm like, oh, come on.
It wasn't?
No, I felt nothing.
Aww. You said that was Arcadia?
Yeah, no, that was Circadian. Skin Script, their enzymes sold out fast.
They did.
Like, they were already sold out, like, going in, like, the first hour.
Oh, dang.
Not out of all of them, but all the good ones.
Those are like the most popular enzymes, aren't they? Like
Yeah.
a lot of people love those.
Because they're good, and then they have their the seasonal ones that come out, too.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, they have a bourbon one that comes out in the fall.
Oh. Did you listen to any of the speakers?
I went to one conference, the Brow Down, for like brow laminations. And 5 minutes into it, me and Sam looked at each other like,
Really?
get me out. Yeah. It's not that it was bad. I mean, it's just I don't know, we didn't, like, it's not like anything new that we learned, you know? Yeah. And they come from California, so they don't wear like gloves while they're waxing, which I don't like, but.
I feel like Mackenzie was saying something about who was demonstrating.
Oh, the Heidi Baker Barker.
Oh yeah, she was like, she took so many protocols, like so many violations on.
Well, in California, they don't have to wear gloves.
Oh, okay.
So when they came, that was like their one thing that they said. They were like, we're from California, we're not going to wear our gloves, but we already know how y'all feel about that. And I'm like,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they don't wear gloves for waxing. But
Now that I think
Texas is,
about
like,
it,
one of the
yeah.
like more strict states when it comes to like sanitation.
Because I have gotten wax when I was still in California, and you're right, they don't.
They don't wear gloves.
That's crazy.
Especially because you always run the potential to like run into blood, especially like
Right.
underarms and Brazilian areas.
Yep. That's wild. I just realized that. But I've had facials there where they're wearing gloves, which was weird.
They wear gloves for the whole facial.
Yeah.
Well, in like medical practices, you'll see that a lot more where they will wear gloves throughout the whole facial. It just feels weird. And when you have gloves on, it's not like you can't really properly feel what's going on with their skin, like texture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so hot when I get it out of there. So your first sponge you're gonna remove with sponges. I know in the protocol it'll tell you on the second one, remove with a hot towel. Up here, hands-on, we'll remove with sponges the first two, just so we're not going through a ton of hot towels. But you guys on the floor, if you want to use 3, you can use 3. If you want to use 2, you can use 2. The easiest thing to do when you're getting like any of your serums or anything out, just scoop it into your hands is the easiest way. You can do knuckling. Do you guys remember what the 3 massage techniques are?
There's petrillage,
Petrissage.
petrissage.
Okay.
Tapinment is like the tapping.
Tappinment,
Yeah. And then there's
One more that's like important for like skateboard purposes.
It starts with the EU. I don't know how to say it.
Effleurage.
Effleurage. Okay, there you go. Petrissage, effleurage, and tapotement.
There's vibration and friction, which they talk about in Milady too.
Yep.
But the 3 that they'll test you on for skateboard are those 3 when it comes to your practical. And they're more commonly used. Friction is too though, which I don't know why, people don't, or why Milady doesn't have that, because a lot of people will do like circular friction, they'll do like the C's. Her skin is drinking this little plunger up.
I know. It's dry.
Do they ask like, hey, perform petrissage?
Mhm. So when you get to that point, it's every service is, or every part of the practical is a different service. So when you get to it, it's called the massage service, and they just say perform a massage, and you have to know to go through the 3 massage. They won't like direct you to do it.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. And they're stone cold in there. They read you the beginning, and that's it, and then they just stare at you and watch you.
You have to talk through it, or are you quiet too?
You can't talk.
Great.
Yeah, you can't talk.
That's better, I feel like. Just doing it and not having to explain yourself.
Yeah.
You do it. You just make sure the proctor sees you, because there's like 8 or 10 other people in the room with you, and they're just walking
Doing it
around.
too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. Like,
Yeah.
it takes the pressure off a little bit.
But you just don't want to look around, because every school does their state board stuff differently. Because they don't tell us exactly like how to do each step. They just say this is what we're looking for, sanitation, and we take our perspective off of how we do our state board. So like Ann Webb does it different, Paul Mitchell does it different.
Will we be getting like a prep before we do our state board?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's part of y'all sign up. Y'all have to do a minimum of 4 state board run throughs
Oh,
before you
that's awesome.
graduate.
That's really good because I feel like,
And if you do more, you do more. Every 2 weeks, I think, is what we discussed of blocking off. I think Wednesdays are the days that we'll do state board in like the morning and the evening.
that's nice. I think that helps because from what I gathered from all the stuff in the convention is like state board is very different than actual like practice, and so you want to make sure you're doing it for them specifically.
Correct. And you'll hear, you probably heard it a lot at the convention, they'll say there's a milady way to do it, and then there's the real world
Yeah.
of how things really actually like kind of operate.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you here, or I'm real good about letting you guys know, like, this is how milady wants it done, so you have to know this for state boards, but the reality is completely different.
Okay.
But in order to pass your board, you have to do it the way they want you to do it. It's starting to get cold now.
I was just about to say, I suppose.
Mhm. That was not graceful at all. Okay, so skin analysis, we're looking for certain things when we're doing skin analysis. So we want to touch their skin. We're looking for, I call it the bounce back, but like the elasticity of their skin, how much elasticity, and it's just how fast it like will pop back into place. So Kaylee definitely has some good elasticity throughout here. She definitely is feeling a little dry. So with your mag lamps, you're able to see what you can't just see right to the naked eye, so it just magnifies it. So when you're using your magnifying lamp, and I'm gonna have you guys all come look, and you guys can touch your face, just sanitize your hands. But she's definitely looking really dry, especially on her cheeks. Your cheeks actually look dehydrated. And your chin a little bit.
I'm dehydrated. I have not been drinking water.
And then we're looking for tone texture. She has a little bit of redness. She has, I was gonna say pimples, but she has pigmentation. But these are like her natural freckles, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then there's some congestion. We're gonna do some extractions on her. But when you guys come to look, you'll notice right here on her cheeks, it almost looks like she has like a white film on top of it. That's gonna be an indication that she is dry, really dry. And we're gonna just rehydrate her today. And then just like how does their skin feel, right? When we talk about texture, does it feel rough? Does it feel nice and dewy, or really supple? So I'm gonna have you guys all sanitize your hands. Come look at normal dry. We're looking at like their pores, right? So if someone has normal or really dry skin, you're not really gonna see their pores, not as much throughout really the face. Now when we start talking about more combo, you'll start seeing a little bit more pores throughout here. Someone who's really oily, their pores are gonna come out further, more towards like the corners of their eyes. So you're also looking for like what kind of skin type they are. There is a difference between the different skin types, or not skin types and conditions. So think your skin type is what you were born with, right? This is what you're genetically predispositioned with. Skin conditions are things can change in the skin. Eczema, psoriasis, dehydration is not a skin type, it is a skin condition. So you can be oily and still be dehydrated at the same time. So this is her exfoliant. if you guys want to use 2 different brushes, one for exfoliant and one for mask inside of your facials, feel free to do that. I typically just use one, and I use my same one. I just wash it off in my water. Don't forget their upper lip when you guys are doing it. A lot of times the upper lip is like the most forgotten about area.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm getting a facial and they forget that, I'm always like, you missed this.
You missed my upper lip. Yeah.
Like I move my lips to like
going and getting facials. Like, it's hard for me to, especially like with y'all it's different, but like going and getting somewhere, because one, I'm a terrible liar, and two, they're always asked, well, what do you do? And I don't want to be like, ooh, because then they usually get nervous.
Yeah.
And then it's like the pressure, and I'm like, girl, you don't gotta, it ain't even gotta be that way. But then I think about it the whole time. I'm like, what are y'all doing wrong? And I can't just lay there and enjoy it. So I guess facials at home it is. I didn't have another ramekin, but I'm gonna get lotion. There's little silver ramekins. I'll show you guys. That's where you put your lotion at. So neck and shoulder massage while enzyme is sitting, and then hand and arm. I have y'all those crystal light things. I got a new one, and it's limited, and it's super like hard.
I just felt that for you.
Yeah, it's like literally my jaw is water right now, and I'm thirsty, but I'm like, that's just, I can't just get it down that. If you're doing a scrub, you'll apply your scrub and then you'll rub it in for about 2 to 3 minutes. Let that sit while you do hand and arm massage. What's this you broke out?
Yeah, it's just a heat rash, I guess.
Your skin's sensitive.
Yeah. Well, I'm like super sensitive to heat.
You are?
But what about my face? What do you think about that? It's like a lot going on, and I've been very consistent.
I think that you are changing some of the stuff that you're using at home, and I think that's gonna cause you to have a small thing of a purge. I don't think you need to go to the dermal now. I think just slowly incorporating like the mandelic, all the way into like your regimen. But as far as like this, I think that it's just you're purging a little and it's gonna clear up. I wouldn't be too concerned. Now, give it about, it's gonna be about 2 to 3 weeks for it to fully clear though.
On my chin, all this hyperpigmentation, I used to not get that at all, and now it's like, if I even think about touching my skin, it's gonna stay. Like,
yeah, the older we get in our hormones,
I guess it's about hormones.
Did you make a dermal appointment for
No.
No.
Yes, I need to.
See if did we give you the sample of the?
No.
No, we need to give that to you first. Let's see if that helps. Cause what do we say? The glycolic?
10.
The 10.
Are we doing the basic bucks or which basic?
This one's clinical. So I'll show you guys clinical, and I show you guys Lux basic, and you just take all modalities out. So it's pretty much the Lux facial with no modalities.
Do we get like, if we wanted to learn like hydrofacials or are we able to sign up for that too? Yeah.
Yep. We have a hydrofacial class next door. Me and Michaela teach it. So either one of us. It really just depends. not enough seats out there. Excuse me, Haley, y'all can sit in the classroom too,
Okay.
if y'all are like working on stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's full out there now. Is anyone almost done? Like almost done with their hours?
My first two out the door is gonna be Cookie and Jocelyn. And I think they're not due till maybe end of April. And that's just two of them. We have a lot of like the nighttime students though too.
So what happens like with people like for the whole class? You can just graduate 2 people at a time. Just whenever.
Yeah, so when they're done, they're done. Did you sign up for PCA?
Yes.
Good.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be good. Oh, that's in like 2 weeks. Did you sign up for? You probably don't even know about it. The class might be maxed out by now. Did you sign up for it? No.
I think
You did for the April one? So PCA training is we certify you in PCA chemical fields, and we have our rep comes out, or the district trainer comes out and does a class with you guys. They do them quarterly, so 4 times a year, and it'll certify you guys in PCA chemical field. And once you're licensed and you have your license, you're able to actually open an account with PCA if you wanted to. I don't think they have an opening cost either. You just have to make sure you get your license. But if you don't go to that class, or you don't go to one of the ones that we're offering, then you don't get your PCA certification, so you have to go to the class in order to get it. I'll get you information on how to sign up.
Okay.
But there's one, is it the 19th?
19th, yeah.
Right? Yeah, 19th. And those classes max out at 35.
And you don't know if that one's full yet?
I don't know if it is or not. I'll know tomorrow, because I can ask Sam to pull it and see how many spots we have left.
Cool.
If not, the next one is July, I believe.
Okay.
So even if you're not here and say like that one's full, even though you're transferred in, you could potentially like still sign up for it and come back and take it.
Okay.
Not just all night, but all the next day. Zysol keeps working, keeping allergies at bay. And without those annoying symptoms disturbing your rest, you can wake up the next
So you guys seen I did the mountain peaks. When you do it that way, it allows you to have your hands underneath. So when you go to remove, you're just moving the towel down. And now you're using a clean area of the towel. And then you can go in and turn it opposite. Just to make sure you get everything off of your skin. Some of the masks, the PCA mask, the brightening and the detoxifying mask are extremely hard to get off. Don't be scared to use them because they're really good masks. Like, they give really good results. They're just really hard to get off, so you just have to work a little bit harder to get those off.
When do you recommend to use enzyme versus the actual like scrub?
I love enzymes. I'm an enzyme girly. I prefer to always use an enzyme. But there are going to be times where someone can't have an enzyme if they're more sensitized. If you have someone who, say, is like a first time person getting a facial or like a teen, yeah, scrub. Or, you know, like I said, someone's just a little bit more sensitive. I just prefer enzymes because they break down the dead skin cells in a different kind of manner. Where scrubs, you're just exfoliating like manually. You do have a little bit more control on like how much pressure you're using, but inside of a facial, scrubs are really hard to get off.
Yeah.
And even for me, I only use my scrub when I do my exfoliating in the shower because I don't got time to mess with it. And I usually do a chemical and a physical scrub weekly, so like twice a week.
Thank you.
But don't be scared of the scrub. I will make you guys at least use a scrub and an enzyme in your facials just so you can experience both of them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do some extractions. You guys always are gonna wear gloves when you're doing the extractions. It doesn't matter if it's your husband, your child, always wear gloves. If you cause somebody to bleed during extractions, you do have to wear gloves for the remainder of the facial. Now, when I put my mask on and I go in and do her hand and arm massage, am I gonna wear gloves? No, but when I go back to her face, I would wear gloves. See what we got for me. I'll get everything off. I like to get my extractor wet. It just helps to glide a little bit better. So she is getting very little, which is fine. I'm gonna get more where she's having like breakouts. The key with extractions is you want to hold your extractor tool as flat as possible and go with the direction of the hair growth, right? Or how the pore is going. On the nose, the hair grows down. So coming down, you can come down and out on the cheeks. So if you're, say they have congestion in the eyebrows, coming out. You can also drag on the chin. Darker Fitzpatricks are more prone to pigmentation, so you do have to be careful for PIH. So I like to tell you guys, if you go in for it and you've tried it twice and you can't get it, leave it because it's not ready, rather than now you've just pigmented or scarred their skin. Sam just got a microneedling, but closer to the end of the week, she should be okay to do some extractions on. And if she is, I'll bring her in and do some extractions on her. Or later, if we have time, Mackenzie too. Mackenzie usually has really good extractions for you guys to see. Blue Lancet. Where did I put that little bad boy?
In that drawer over there the other day.
Did I put some more of that? I brought one over here.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. I thought I did.
I saw some over there, I felt like.
I know there's some in that closet. No?
No.
Okay, if you go in... So these are Lancets. If you guys are using a Lancet, like I said, someone who has, like Mackenzie would be someone I would use a Lancet on. She has a ton of whiteheads or or whiteheads and blackheads, and sometimes hers are really tough to get out, so I might pierce through to get it out. Milia's is also another one where you use a lancet, and you guys can see, I don't know if you guys, it's a small one, but can you see right here?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going for milia, you're piercing straight through, right?
I get a lot of those too. I have really oily skin.
Milia's. With milias too, you almost 9 times out of 10 are gonna make them bleed. What milias are, they're pretty much epidermal cysts, so there's no pore opening. The reason why we have to go in and actually lancet them is because we have to create that opening to get it out of the skin. And think about cysts are gonna be, and when we say like epidermal cyst, it sounds like, oh my god, like a cyst. It's not really like a cyst, right? But we just call them epidermal cysts. So they're gonna lay a little bit deeper into the epidermis, and if we're drawing blood, it's because we're a little bit more vascular, right? So it's deeper in the dermis, or in the like epidermis down to the dermis. So anytime you're doing true like milia removal, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get blood. It is what it is.
So in this case, would you say from here on you're gonna have to use gloves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good chin. Sam's also one where I typically make her, she bleeds too. Y'all got to see Sam though, huh? When I did extractions.
Yeah.
See, if you have a sharps container down here, they just go in the sharps container whenever you're done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do high frequency. You always want to do your high frequency first before you do your toner, because toner typically has alcohol in it, and the chance of you like sparking them is there. It's a very low chance, but because of that, you're always going to do your high frequency first. So there's high frequency gauze masks with these. If you're downstairs and say like we have ran out or we're waiting for them to come in, you can always grab a 2x2 and use it the same exact way. You're not pregnant or breastfeeding?
No. No.
She said I better
Never
not be.
again.
Better not be. So high frequency, it can be used in different ways. Some people will talk about it being anti-aging. I don't necessarily say high frequency is anti-aging, but it does speed up cell metabolism. And we know that anytime we can speed up cell metabolism, that's gonna be good for anti-aging, right? There's different probes. So you have your mushroom, which is gonna be the one that you're typically gonna use all over the face if you're doing it all over. There's a hair one that's nice, helps to stimulate hair growth. If you're someone like me, I typically always have my hair up, and sometimes I'll get little not like sometimes breakouts, but from like my hair pulling,
Yeah.
like little ingrowns. and this can be really good for that. You have a smaller one here for spot treater. You can use like a little bit closer to the under eyes, and then you got this baby. You can get it, which is really tiny, and you can just spot treat with it. You can also spot treat with the mushroom. There's one in here already. I wonder if it's gotta be clean, right? Okay. So you have argon and you have neon. Argon is going to be like that violet blue, more violet, good for acne. And then you have argon, which is, or not argon, neon, which is going to be like the orange. Orange is going to be better for like cellular metabolism. Of course, blue or violet is going to be better for like acne. What this is doing is just pushing pure oxygen into the skin. And when we can do that, we can kill bacteria. So really good for people who are breaking out, but it's also really good for preventative measures. If you're more acne prone at home, you can do this daily.
I have one at home.
You do?
I've used it once.
You've only used it once? That's what I got.
I always forget that I have it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, there she is. They have new ones out now. They're a little bit more expensive because each probe is going to have different gas in it, right? But they have, I think it's the more famous one for it. I'm sorry.
Something is itching me so.
Probably this. It's a blended one. I think New Derma is one that's famous for it, but they blend the two colors so then it looks more like purple, so then you get the best of both worlds.
Nice.
I don't have my gloves on right now because I'm not going to really touch her skin, but you turn it on at the bottom. I typically start at about 3. It sounds a lot scarier than what it's really doing, but the main thing to take away from this is you want to make sure that before you put it on their skin that you have your finger on your probe. So you're going to put it on their skin and then you're going to release your hand and you're going to keep it as flat as possible. It does smell funny it kind of smells like ozone from adding that extra oxygen molecule into it.
You said you could use this daily.
Mm-hmm. And most people that use it at home, they don't use these. They just put it straight on their skin.
Yep.
You can use your serums. So like say you could use a mandelic serum and then do this, or you can use this and then use your serum afterwards. And you're gonna do this all over their face, and then when I come off, I put my finger on it and pull it off. It prevents from shocking. If they have a nose ring out or in, have them take it out. If they can't take it out, just avoid that area completely. If you get too close, it can shock them.
Okay.
But if they can take it out, have them take it out. And I'm gonna come back, and when I'm doing a spot treat, I'm just tapping it on their skin. Easy peasy. Options, and you're always going to tone after the mask.
You're using gauze instead of a round for this one? Okay.
And what I'll do is when we get your toners, I just put them here and I get them wet. And if you do like hot rounds, it soaks up a lot of the product.
Okay.
And I did a hydro calm mask on her. It's gonna be hydrating but also calming because I knew I was gonna do extractions. And she's dry, so I didn't want to do like a clay mask or anything like that.
Loving your Spotify free experience so far? You can always discover new ways and more places to listen. Learn how to download music to play offline and turn shuffle mode off or on, depending on your mood, with Spotify Premium.
Great.
I know, I was just thinking, I literally was just like, I did not eat my eggs this morning. I brought them.
You brought him and didn't eat him?
Because I set my alarm for like super early this morning because I was like, oh, it's Monday, I gotta be there early. And then I ended up waking up at 6 and I was like, actually, I think I'm gonna go back to bed. I was like, it's the day after Easter. Nobody's gonna be on the road. And there wasn't anybody on the road.
Really?
But, no. And then a lot of people are off today.
Freezing. Why?
Because it's the day after Easter. Like, where my mom lives, they're all off. Like, the kids are out, yeah. So, then I snoozed it and went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, I was like, dang, I woke up a little bit later than I wanted to. So, by the time I got there, I didn't really have time to really do much. I'm going to do hand and arm massage now. Maybe just half a packet next time.
I can't add a lot of those flavoring things to my waters. I like add half a packet to
Your waters?
Yeah.
There's one that I really like. It's the Class brand, and it's like a cucumber lemonade one. And it's hit or miss where I go if they're gonna have it. Did you get? This is one of those permanent ones. And I tell you guys, on like hand and arm massage, do what you think will feel good or for you. I literally just do a lot of like long effleurage. And then I will do some like knuckling up on the top of the arm and on the shoulder area.
My favorite thing is like a forearm massage. My forearms get so tight.
That and really like this part feels really good and like this part right here. It's so underrated.
It is. I went to one of those like foot spas the other day.
Oh, those
I love those.
It was fine, but I would rather my forearms get massaged for 30 minutes than my feet.
Oh yeah. I mean, those are nice, but I'm the same. When I tell them to like, I'm like longer ones, I already know they're gonna try and focus on my feet longer. No.
Come back up.
Yep.
Don't focus. I don't want it. I'd rather like a good like back and glutes.
Yeah. My shoulders are always tight too. It's a full body. I'm like up here.
My shoulders, back, and glutes is where I'm like, get in there.
A life hack that my sister gave me. She started injecting my shoulders and neck
Botox.
I saw that. I literally screenshot that. I was thinking about doing
and
that.
Dysport. Like if you don't want Botox, because Botox is more expensive, you can do Dysport.
You can do Dysport. Dysport's my favorite anyways.
I like Dysport too. That's what
Yeah.
my face. Can you tell a difference though in your traps?
Oh my god, yeah.
Really?
Because I get migraines. I have chronic migraines. I get about 15 a month. So she started putting Botox on my scalp and neck and shoulders, and it's
How
been
many units are you doing?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It comes out to about 30 plus.
On each
Units?
side.
Yeah. Oh no, not just 30 injections. So about like 200, if I'm not.
200 units?
Yeah. It basically like nets out to about $1,800 to $1,000 per session.
Sounds about right.
But it's so good, like right here, because I get really tense, and then when I get migraines, it gets really bad.
pulls,
So she's done these like and it's helped so much just to like bring my shoulders back and
Kind of
relax.
relaxing.
So it's been a life hack, like for sure.
You're like, yes, it's a game changer.
Yes.
Look, Kaylee's thinking now.
I know.
3
I've been
months.
thinking about it because that's
Yeah.
for me. I feel like sometimes, especially if I start working out, I feel like I'm like,
Yep.
that's not what we're
That was
going
my
for.
one question when, because they're calling it like the Barbie talks, is what they're calling it. Is if your shoulders are relaxed when you're working out, is it gonna like,
No.
no? Okay.
It's just they're not as tense. The muscles are like not as tense, but you don't lose like the mobility or anything like that. Like they're just
You'd need a lot to like lose full like mobility.
yeah. So I think my first time she did Dysport, the second time she used Botox, because again, like migraines are just terrible. But I've been telling people, like, if you have a really bad neck and like shoulder, like
Do it.
do it. It's worth it.
Is your sister a nurse?
Yeah, she's a nurse for a trauma center in California, and then evenings and weekends she does her clinic where she does like injections and like. But she went into it because like my insurance and doctors won't give me Botox even if I have chronic migraines because it's so expensive. They don't want to cover it. They want to pump you with drugs.
With everything else?
Yeah. So she got certified and now I'm like, you get a business out of it, I get discounted Botox, so perfect. So I fly to California like every 3 months.
3 months.
It's cheaper to it's cheaper to go home and just get it done.
Yeah. Until you have your own.
She's like, we can partner. We can do a med spa together. I was
There you
like,
go.
yeah, why not?
That's all you need.
But I like that she offers hours, like after work hours, like and weekends, because that's when most places are closed.
Yeah. I don't know in Austin. They're always open.
Here. I have to pee so bad.
Do you?
Sorry.
Hold on. Let me just rub this in.
No, I'll wait till we're done because after this, it's just,
Just applying serums.
yeah. Oh, I can wait. But Sunny, no, you don't have to rub this out in the full.
Okay. She's like, come on, girl. That was the point.
Sorry.
Understood.
Sorry, guys.
It's because it got cold, I think.
Y'all seen my other hand in arm massage, right? Let me just rub
Feels
this
good to
in for her.
cut it short.
She's like, but in the same sense. After all day, these hot towels do get really hot though too. Always make sure that you guys are checking your hot towels on your inner wrist before you put it on someone's skin, just to make sure. So you can grab your ear. What is this? I know, I was like, it's like with Spotify, after you listen to so many, it just starts kind of curating its own. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, no. Dial that back.
You have to like dislike something, thumbs down.
Yeah, like, okay. Maybe in my car, but.
So even if the bleeding has stopped, like you still need to go back with gloves. Yeah, as long as like there's been initial.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Just because even though you wipe blood off of like the skin, it's still like blood contact.
Okay.
it still remains even if it's been wiped off. And you just have to, not saying that, you know, anyone is, but you just always have to look at someone as if, you know, they're contagious.
Right.
And then tone. I'm just using Mandelic serum, so this is my correcting serum. Then I'm gonna apply my hydrator. You guys just need to know the difference between a moisturizer and a hydrator. It's two different things. Your hydrator is a humectant, so that's gonna bring hydration to the skin, where your moisturizer is gonna moisturize the skin. The most popular humectant out there that you guys are probably familiar with is hyaluronic acid. But there's a lot of humectants. Honey is one, glycerin is one, there's a ton of, aloe is also a humectant. This is her moisturizer. Your skin looks good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Excited. Needed help.
You need a little deal. You need a little pick me up.
I did.
So this is eye serum. And with eye serums, I like to go in and actually like rub it in rather than just patting it on. It's a whole different experience when you actually go in and
What are you putting on our lips?
I just put Vaseline on her lips.
Oh.
Alright, my dear, you are done.